welcome and thank you for joining us today, Kenworth Northeast Training Academy. We're excited to kick off this year with Milton Cat in this series. So today we've got on the line myself I'm with Kenworth Northeast, the Director of Marketing here. We've also got Rhonda Galinas, the Commercial Engine Product Support Manager, Chris Sipperly, the Business Partner Coordinator, and Bruce Berry is on the line as well, our Technical Communicator and Business Partner Coordinator. Before we jump into all the content that we have, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how it is that we can communicate with each other through the presentation. So cameras and audio are off, so that way we can reduce background noises and distractions. With that said, if you do have a question, we definitely want to be able to address that. So all you have to do is click the Q&A icon here. That's the double chat box, and you can submit your question there, and we'll be answering them throughout the call. And then also we'll take a look to recap some things at the end of the call if there's something that comes up a lot. You can also, if you're looking to get, grab our attention, we haven't quite, noticed it, click the raised hand icon and we'll be keeping an eye out for that as well. So those are two ways that you can grab our attention if you need to. Really quickly, a run through. As I mentioned, this is our first Training Academy session for 2023. Here's just a quick run through of what we have coming up through June, but I also do have these scheduled out all the way through November, I think at this point. And those can all be found on the Kenworth Northeast website. The link is there, and I'll also follow up with it in an email after the call today. Next month, we'll be talking with our friends from Minimizer on some fleet maintenance. They have lots of great products and suggestions on fleet maintenance. And in March, we'll be meeting with the folks from Eaton to talk about new technology and clutches. In April, we've got Meritor on the line for, they'll be taking a deep dive into the electric drivetrain that actually powers the Kenworth T680 electric tractor. If you're interested in that technology, there'll be a lot of good stuff there. In May, we've got a few different dates available and options for an A-line air disc brake training. That's a certification training. There's a virtual online opportunity for that. If you're in the Massachusetts area, there's an opportunity to do it in person in Massachusetts. In New York, we've got an in-person in Syracuse, and we may be adding another in-person as well. So if you're interested in doing a certification on air disc brakes, you can take a look for that on the website, and then we'll also have some follow-up emails with information on that too. And then in June, we've got Donaldson on the schedule to cover some filtration solutions. So just a preview of what's to come. After today's call, you'll be receiving an email in the next day or two. You'll have the option to pick a gift. We appreciate your participation, and you're being a great Kenworth Northeast and Milton Cat customer. So that'll be in that email. Also, we'll follow up with that training schedule and other opportunities to stay connected with us beyond today's call. So with that, I will go ahead and just give me a second when we switch presentations and hand it over to Rhonda.
So today we're going to go through the 2023 marketing programs. That's something that I will review with you folks. We're also going to review the extended service coverages available to you. What's new, new content engines that Bruce Berry will be covering. And Chris Sipperly will be covering the parts.cat.com SIS 2.0 easy access account, kits available, maintenance kits, fluids, filters, and batteries. And then at the end of the presentation today, we will have a Q&A as well. So without further ado, since I've had a little technical difficulties, we'll turn it right over to Chris Sipperly.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Chris Sipperly, Milton Cat. I've been with Milton Cat since 2007, so I'm just past my 15-year anniversary. Most of my time has been spent in the parts department, which is why I kind of get tasked a lot of times with the parts side of the business, and Bruce kind of taking lead on the service side of the business. So what I want to do is I kind of want to touch on some products that you may or may not be aware of that Caterpillar has made available over the recent years. And there's four things in terms of something that's fairly new. One, there's exhaust manifold installation kit, injector cup kits, exhaust bellows kits, and shim spacer plate kits. This was made available about a year or so ago. The goal of it is the ease of business. The goal of it is to have one part number that takes care of everything. So the exhaust manifold kit is recommended when you are replacing the manifold, turbo replacements, and exhaust bellows repairs. These are available for C11, C13, 3406E, C15, C16, as well as C15. The injector cups should be used when you replace injector, or if you discover fuel in the coolant, experience leak in any cup. Just remember when reusing the cylinder head, or when you find an injector cup leaking, it's a good idea to replace all of them. And again, this is a good opportunity to use that kit. Again, that's available on C11, 13, 3406, C15, and C16. Same with the exhaust bellow kits. They're available on C13, C11, and C15. Again, the goal of it is to have it ease of business all under one part number. Again, this stuff is fairly new. It's starting to gain some traction. A lot of folks find it to be a heck of a lot easier than trying to look them all up individually, especially the bellows kits. Anybody that's ever had to try to look up the part numbers for those, it can be difficult. So again, it's really the goal is ease of business. Then another thing that we've offered for many years now are medium duty and heavy duty kits. Those kits, again, the goal of that is one part number that has multiple parts that allows, obviously, the cost to be a little bit less. Typically speaking, for overhaul kits, somewhere in between 10 to 15% savings for each piece part. There are multiple levels. There's a bronze kit that is basically for like seals, bearings, O-rings, oil and fuel filter. Silver kit is the next step up, which has the consistent bronze, but it has some piston parts. Then you get down to gold. That's the first one that has a core on it. The reason why there's a core on it, because there's remanufactured cylinder packs in it. Then you get down to platinum. That is, it includes injectors, cylinder packs, etc. Then titanium, it just keeps building from there. We do also offer this is for medium duty now. These are also, they also offer Huey kits, which is the Huey pump, as well as 6 injectors. All of these kits does have ESC available to them. We also have the heavy duty kits. Heavy duty kits are anything C12 and above. Anything C10 and below is considered medium duty. Same thing with heavy duty. There's bronze, silver, and gold. That's something that we really have a lot of success with. Again, one part number with multiple consists, and again, there's tier levels, so you can get anything from just gaskets and bearings all the way up to a kit and a platinum kit that has everything from the cylinder pack all the way up to cylinder head, injectors, pretty much anything that is needed for a certified overhaul. That's kind of the genesis of these kits in the first place. Is once we started getting into the ESC portion of it, that's kind of when we started to put the kits together, because there's many years that there wasn't any kind of offering for that. It was always by piece part. So as the business changed, availability changed, kind of gave us an opportunity to kind of build upon that. We also have maintenance kits. Those maintenance kits are same idea as all the other kits. It's one part number that contains all of your filters, whether it be a fuel filter, coolant filter, and oil engine filter. Caterpillar also offers also offers batteries. The Kenworth group has worked with us for a premium high output battery, which is a group 31 battery. That is something that we've had a lot of success with. A lot of it comes down to availability and reliability. Our Caterpillar batteries have a no hassle warranty process, and what that is, you have a 2-year free replacement as long as you can show that battery is less than 2 years old. You bring that battery, say, hey, this battery failed, that battery is replaced. That seems to be a much better experience for customers than it has for other manufacturers. That's something we really had a lot of success with. Just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, Caterpillar makes a very quality battery, and Kenworth has stepped up and actually, you know, has stocking levels on those. And the other thing I want to make mention of as well is Caterpillar also has ease of access now for parts.cat.com. What that means is, for a very long time, in order for you to go online to order, to look up parts or order parts, you had to have an account with Milton Cat. And that would require you to, you know, go through the, you know, the correct department and get set up and so on and so forth. Now, it's all you got to do is go to parts.cat.com. You fill out a form, and that form just usually, you know, includes your name, your address, just the vitals, maybe a phone number. I'm not sure about a phone number, but definitely an email, because they need an email to be able to log in. But that'll allow you to do, you don't have to have an account. So it takes roughly a business day to get that set up. And what they do is they just send you an email, say, yep, you're good to go. They don't restrict you by serial number. You can put in, say if you have a 6NZ engine, you can put your serial number in there. You can look it up and say, hey, this is the part number for the turbo boost pressure sensor. Hey, this is the part number, you guys have one. It's just another way of Caterpillar trying to make things a little bit easier in terms of business. And that's something we've seen a lot of success with. That kind of takes care of my portion of this. I don't think I see any questions. If there are, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yep, I don't see any questions coming up yet. Chris, Rhonda asked if you could take the next, the 2023 marketing programs.
Yes, yep.
Okay,
yeah.
and I can go ahead and move the slides through for you.
Yes, I'm just trying to, I'm having a problem on, there it goes. All right, now it minimized and I couldn't get back open. All right, so this is, looks like this, excuse me for not exactly sure where we are. Okay, so it looks like this slide kind of has some stats related to Caterpillar. So we last manufactured an engine back in 2009. Right now, the average age of engine that we have in our territory is around 20 years old. There are over 1 million truck engines in operation today. Our territory has 40,000 registered trucks today. And we also have a program, the Million Miler Club, that is free. So what we do is, it's a program where you send in a form to Caterpillar, hey, my truck has 1 million miles on it. They get you enrolled in the program. And then from there, they send you, I believe it's a hat and a jacket. And then as miles continue, there's a 2 million, 3 million, et cetera. I think I know we have a 4 million, but I'm not sure if we got to a 5 yet, but that is something we also offer as well. So I guess I'm ready for the next slide.
All right, here really quick, before we move to the next slide, we do have a question that came through. Are kits available for 3406B series?
B as in boy?
Yes.
No, not honestly. The reason being is there's not enough of them. But we do kind of have a line of sight on, you know, if you're looking for that consistent, you know, we're kind of at a point where we know what should be in that kit, so we'd have to do it by piece part. We don't have, actually, no, that's not true. I was gonna say we don't have STP kits, but we do. There's a time we didn't, but we don't have anything for the mechanical for the B or the C.
Okay.
All right, so the next slide here is these programs run until mid-year. There's a good chance that they may be renewed, but we got to kind of look at it as it's from January 1st to June 30th. So the first one is Caterpillar water pumps. We are doing a program right now where if you return a non-Caterpillar water pump, we will still send it through as a good core. What we're looking to do is we're kind of look at it as like a comeback to cat option. So if you end up with a non-cat water pump, we want to be able to reward you by going back to Caterpillar. That is what we're looking to do. This is good on heavy duty and medium duty. The next one is $500 off Caterpillar Reman turbos. Same thing. look at it as a coming back to cat. This one has a $500 coupon attached to it. So if you had a twin turbo and you had two turbos that you want to replace, that $500 turns to $1,000, and we'll take a non-Caterpillar core back. That is something that is really allowed us to gain some traction over the last. I think this program's roughly a year and a half old now, and it's been renewed twice. So there's been a lot of success with it. Same thing with non-Caterpillar Reman heads. If you buy a upgrade to new cylinder head, and you have a non-Caterpillar core to come back, we're going to give you credit for it. So what upgrade to new head means is it's brand new, except for it has a Reman part number. So what you're getting is you're getting a new part, but at the Reman price. So that is another part of, I guess, the Caterpillar value story. There's been a lot of success with that. The next one is $500 off precious metals kits. We just talked about those, which is the medium duty and heavy duty. Excuse me, the $500 is just for the heavy duty. The heavy duty, $500 off. It doesn't have to be platinum. It could be bronze. It could be gold. It could be silver. It could be platinum, and that could also be stacked with the turbo. So you could say if you have a twin turbo, and you do we'll say a platinum kit. Now you got $1,500 off that you can use towards your purchase. There's also $1,000 off Caterpillar Reman long blocks. Again, that's something that we've really seen a big transition to. I would say over the last 2 to 3 years, it was primarily a lot more platinum kits, but now we're kind of seeing as these hours and miles start to pile up in these engines, we're starting to see not a better, but a different repair process going from, okay, we're gonna put new packs in it to, okay, I think we need to look at a block. That is something that is really kind of, changed from the last couple of years. And we've seen some success with that. The other thing that we've seen a ton of success with too is the Reman engine program. This one here, heavy duty Reman engine, you can get $1,500 off on that. Another thing that I want to make mention too is within Caterpillar at parts.cat.com, we do see struggles sometimes where if you put the engine serial number in there and you're trying to find a complete engine, it seems to elude you. But I think it's like 96% of what's out there right now, Caterpillar has an option for you in terms of a complete engine. Sometimes it's not black and white. Sometimes it's okay, you got to flip the oil pan around. Sometimes you got to reflash ECM, but which is why it's not insist. So if it's not exactly like for like, it's not in there. If it is like for like from soup to nuts, it'll be in there. But if you ever get in a situation where you're looking for an engine, give your outside salesman a call or Kenworth a call or myself a call or Bruce a call. 9 times out of 10, we can come up with something. And at this point, when it comes to rebuilding an engine or going with a Reman complete, that math equation is starting to shift. We're starting to make more sense to go with a complete for a number of reasons. One is labor that is required to get that engine built back up. There's also a warranty advantage of going with the complete Reman. Reason being is the standard parts warranty on, say, a platinum kit is a year. You can extend it up to 4, but in terms of a standard warranty, a complete Reman engine is double that. It's 2 years, and it's everything in that engine. It's completely consist, and you don't have to sit there and wonder, okay, shoot, when you did the overhaul, what did I replace? What didn't I replace? These engines come with CTMs as well, so there isn't really anything on that engine that you're going to use that isn't under warranty once you purchase that. I'm ready for the next slide.
All right, so I think the slides coming up go through each of those in a little bit more detail. So I don't know if you want to skim through these.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, again, this is the $1,500 off, which we've touched on already. This could be done through your shop. It can be done through over the counter. Any way you want to do it, it can be done. So you can go to the next slide. Let's see. Sorry, so this is the same thing. These are the complete Reman engines. Drop-in engine solution, turbocharger, injector set, ECM and harness and sensors, rear housing and flywheel, inlet exhaust manifolds, oil and fuel lines, air compressor. We've seen a lot of success with these. We've had a lot of engines sold this year. It just kind of speaks to, I guess, the loyalty of the engine at the end of the day. So if you want to go to the next slide. So this is $1,000 off of heavy duty and medium duty long blocks. Again, we talked about this before. It really, again, we're seeing a shift in between a platinum kit to a long block. You can have $1,000 off. Again, this is combinable with, we'll say, the turbo program. So the next one. Same thing we were talking about a few minutes ago. This come back to Cat. We are trying to, take back non-Caterpillar components, and in turn, get Caterpillar back out there. So we're at a point where we understand that, these engines are getting older. So there may have been a time where someone said, I don't really want to put a Caterpillar one on. And then, we're always up, it was kind of like an uphill battle where once you lost that core, it was like, well, then you kind of lost that business for forever. So we're trying to remove that so you can continue to go genuine Caterpillar moving forward if there was a break in that chain. So you can go ahead, next one. Talked about this again, of course, a few minutes ago. $500 off turbos, and we're taking non-Caterpillar ones back. Hopefully my dog doesn't bark here when my son is here. So again, take it back, non-Caterpillar cores. The core criteria remains the same in terms of making sure it's assembled and not damaged, etc. But we'll take it back non-Caterpillar turbo cores and give you $500 for each one that you buy. Next one. Precious metals kits. These are for heavy duty. It could be, anything from a bronze, silver, gold up to platinum. That is again something that could be combined with the turbo program as well. So you can go from $500 to $1,000 or $1,500 depending on the configuration. Next one. Okay, so what this is the 2023 overhaul protection. So what they're doing is, if you are doing a you have the truck in our shop or your shop, and you have, as long as you do a long block or higher, when I say higher, it's a long block or complete engine, you can also actually get an additional $1,000 in addition to $1,000 off your long block or $1,500 off your engine. Next one. So these are just this is essentially like, I guess, a matrix in terms of the difference in between this. I'm sorry, I got a like a little box over the description here, but this is over the counter. So these are kind of offers that you could have over the counter. HC overhaul. So you're getting $1,000 total, $500 in the kit, $500 in the turbo. Or if you went with a long block, you can do a long block, $1,000 off in a turbo, that's $1,500. And if you do a complete Reman, that's $1,500 off plus 2 years worth of coverage. So you can go to the next slide. Okay. I think this might be where Rhonda wants to take over.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yep.
Yes.
As long as you can hear me, thanks.
Yes.
You did a fantastic job presenting for me on the marketing portion. I apologize for the technical difficulties.
Okay.
One thing that I do want to state on the marketing program, so we're teamed up with Kenworth Northeast, so all of these programs are available through Kenworth Northeast. The difference between the over-the-counter programs and the in-shop, so if you bring your truck to the Kenworth dealer, the biggest difference there is that they can offer you what we call overhaul protection for trucks, and you see that OPT there, that's what that is. So Kenworth can offer you that program, and they can offer you up to 4 years worth of coverage on that overhaul. If you buy a platinum kit over the counter, you can get the discount, but you can only buy precious metals coverage. As you see in this bulleted point here, you cannot buy the OPT. The OPT program, which I love to explain to customers, is that program has a whole list of certifications that the Kenworth team has to certify on that engine. So for example, the crankshaft, they inspect that. If they say that this crankshaft passes inspection, then they check off that, yes, it passes inspection. What that inspection is telling Caterpillar is that when the Kenworth team is looking at your engine, that engine is going to make it to the next overhaul based upon the reuse criteria. Operation maintenance manual and the reuse criteria is what's looked at when they're doing these overhauls. So they've got a team that's certified in working on, your CAT engine. And it's best if you're going to do any major repairs like that. I always try to just advise customers to bring it into those folks especially because of this coverage. So if they put the OPT coverage on that, all of the items that they inspect and it passes inspection, they don't have to be replaced. There's a minimum that have parts that have to be replaced and then an inspection criteria. So on that crankshaft, Kenworth Northeast says, yep, it passes the certification. We put the OPT coverage on your truck for you. Then you leave. If you have a failure of that crankshaft, it's going to be covered. If you had somebody else do it that was a non-authorized dealer, do that same precious metals platinum kit, and you had a crankshaft failure, it would not be covered because they're not an authorized dealer. So I just like to point that information out to you. So the money sometimes that you save in labor from not going to an authorized dealer, if you have a failure, it's not a savings at that point. If crankshaft failure after the fact could cost you up to $32,000 worth of damage. So I like to point that out. So on the precious metals, we offer up to 4 years worth of coverage. You can purchase that coverage through Kenworth Northeast for up to 4 years, unlimited mileage on that coverage. The coverage for all of our precious metals is going to cover all of the parts that are in that kit. The specific kit that you purchase, it has a consist list. So all of those parts are covered. When it's brought back to Kenworth, it covers parts, their labor for a warrantable failure, parts, labor, and contingent damage to a Caterpillar component, which is huge. So that's another benefit of bringing it and working with Kenworth Northeast. The overhaul protection we just discussed. So that's overhaul protection for trucks. So when we meet the minimum requirements for the replacement components, we go through the certification worksheet. Again, you can purchase up to 4 years unlimited mileage on that overhaul coverage, and you can also add towing to that. The component coverage, we've got a whole list of components that are covered under that you can purchase. So right now, when you purchase a part over the counter at Kenworth, the parts warranty applies. So no matter who installs that part, you're going to have a 12-month parts warranty, provided that you bring that unit back to the Kenworth dealer to have the work performed if there was a failure. So when Kenworth gets that back in their shop, they're going to cover parts, labor, and contingent damage on those components with the extended service coverage, provided it comes back to an authorized dealer. We also offer Reman extended service coverage. So if you are to replace a complete engine, you can purchase up to now, to just change January 1st, so it's hot off the press. It was 4 years or 400,000 miles for a heavy duty. Now it's going to be 5 years or 500,000 miles. You can also add optional component coverage, which is going to be for your maintenance components, turbo water pump injectors, air compressors. So that can also be added, as well as towing. So I like to also point that out to everybody, that there's a lot of coverage that we can apply to these components that are purchased, whether it's installed by yourself or by the authorized dealer. It just has to come back to the dealer, to the Kenworth dealership, for the work to be done. And then we also offer what we call advantage coverage. This is a great program. So once you install that Reman engine, as long as the Reman engine has gone less than 8 years or 800,000 miles, if you're over your 5 years for the extended service coverage that you purchased out of the gate, which you don't have to, but if you did, then you'd purchase up to 3 more years worth of advantage coverage. So we're trying to keep you protected as long as we can.
All right. Rhonda, it looks like you just muted at the end of that sentence. Oh,
sorry
there you
about
are. Do you want me to go to the next slide?
Yes, please. So that's all I had. Was there any questions? I know that was a lot between the marketing programs and the components and the extended service coverage. Did we have any questions up to this point? If not, we'll go ahead. As Melinda said, you can put the questions in the chat. We can answer them at the end. And if we have no questions at this moment, we're going to turn it right over to Bruce Berry.
All right. Yep. I'm not seeing any questions in the Q&A right now. So I'll go ahead and give it to Bruce.
All right.
Yep, ready to go. Hi, it's Bruce Berry. I want to talk to you about the complete engines that we have to offer. You're going to see that we're targeting the glider customers. This is taking care of those guys that had to buy those gliders with competitive product under the hood, be it the Cummins or Detroits. If you have those Detroits or Cummins and you had enough of those, providing that they're within the model year prior to 2007, we have an engine solution for you. We will actually take those engines back regardless of condition. It can have a hole in the block. It can damage crankshaft, any of that stuff. We really don't care what condition the engine is in, just as long as it's complete. That's all we got for a guideline. So the main thing that I'm going to need from you folks is if you've got such a situation, a picture of the emission label is what we need. That'll validate that what we're dealing with the transaction is completely legal. So at this point here, why don't we go to the next slide?
Okay.
Key points here, it actually is starting over the service life of your engine. You're taking that iron set that's been out there for a long, long time, and you're upgrading it to new. So I'm talking new, I'm talking brand new block, brand new crank, brand new cylinder head. So there's no machine parts when you're dealing with new content. So it's a very good value, as about as close as you legally can get to a new engine that's pre-emission. As far as core criteria, there's not much to go with. All you have to do is have an engine that is complete. We've even taken in an engine that had complete fire damage, melted the front cover and the oil pan right off the engine, and we still gave the customer full core credit. So it's a good value for those engines that typically I consider nothing but a pile of junk, because it's just about what it is. Next slide, please. Reman lawn blocks. This would be in those situations as probably what I call the most high-level repair option that you can have. If you're tearing into your engine and you find, oh, my block is cracked, or the counterbores are really bad, this engine's probably seen its better part of its service life. We will take that engine in as a full core towards a lawn block. I would say using a lawn block makes sense if you have components that are reusable, because the engine is not complete. It does not come with injectors. It doesn't come with turbo, ECM. So when you have all those kind of components that you plan on replacing, you might as well go with a complete engine. Because by the time you add all those extras up on top of a Reman alarm block, yeah, you're going to be coming close to the cost of a complete engine. So just want to make you guys aware of what it comes with and what it doesn't come with. Next slide, please. Again, this is a new content engine alarm block. It comes, again, they're going over the whole part about how this is starting the clock over with your main engine 9 set. There's no penalties for cores. So again, as long as the engine is complete, you should be all set as far as the core credit is concerned. Next slide. Oh, this is again going into core criteria. Again, the traditional Reman engine, yes, you would have to be careful with those, because if the block is physically cracked or broken, you're going to get a partial core. But when it comes to new content, that's not the case. So you can have a lot of damage to your engine and you're still going to get full core. These lawn blocks are traceable back to the factory. This again is a lawn block is a repair option. It takes the identity of the original serial number of the engine, not the serial number that's on this block. So just keep that in mind, that this is a high-level repair option and keeps the same identity of the original engine serial number. Next slide. We are going to offer this year C12 and C13 Reman engines with new content. What that is referring to is, again, what we've been doing all along with our 3406Es and our C15s is we're now expand that out to the C12, C13. So if you have an engine that have major engine failures, that would be a good candidate for a new content C12 or C13. You'll see in this chart where the target is that we're looking at a lot of those applications where it uses a rear PTO. That would be in a lot of the applications as far as like cement mixers, those kind of products that are on the road. C12 over the highway trucks. Yep, we pretty much got that base covered as well. It goes right clear back to 1998 to about 2002. We do have, for example, the engines that made with bridge engines, they would have to be upgraded to a C13, which is a twin turbo. Next slide, please. I think that's it. I guess if anybody's got any questions?
Yeah, so we've come to the end of the content here. So if you do have any questions, you can pop them into the question and answer. You should see a bubble at probably the bottom of your screen that has the little chat bubbles. You can pop them in there. Also, feel free to reach out to your Kenworth Northeast outside sales rep at any point in time if you've got questions. And if they don't have the answers, we know how to get the answers. Rhonda, Chris, and Bruce are all handy resources for us. So I'll just give it a minute here, see if we have any questions come through. And then I'll just remind everyone to keep an eye out on your email as well. Like I said, I'll be sending out a follow-up later this week that includes probably some more information coming out of this, resources for you. Information about upcoming sessions, and also a link to choose a thank you gift for attending today's session too. All right, I'm not seeing any additional questions coming through the Q&A here. So I'd like to thank you all for your time today. Rhonda, Chris, or Bruce, did you have anything you wanted to add before we sign off?
I just wanted to thank you for having us and thank all of your customers for being dedicated to Kenworth and Caterpillar customers. And again, as you had indicated, Belinda, if there's any questions, know that there was a lot of information. We're hoping that this actually, gave you some additional information to help you with your day-to-day business with your truck. And we appreciate you keeping those trucks going. And if you have any, concerns, if you have 1 million miles on your truck, absolutely reach out to somebody at Kenworth. We can get you, as we talked about, set up for the Million Miler program. That's a great program. We also like to get some pictures, and maybe if you're interested, we could put you in our 2024 Million Miler calendar. That's always a great add-on. A lot of people like to be in that calendar. It says a lot. So I think Chris had touched on we have a 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and 4 million. When you get out to that 3 and 4 million mile, we do a special recognition. So just keep us updated and reach out to your folks at Kenworth, and they will get the information on to us. Hopefully we'll hear from you.
The only thing that I also would like to mention too, anything and everything that I talked about today in the parts section, the exhaust manifolds, bellows, injector cup kits, overhaul kits, filter kits, batteries, etc. I have media that I can send you that includes all the part numbers, so you don't have to go looking for it. So if anybody needs it or wants it, just get a hold of me and I'll be happy to send it to you.
Or reach out to Kenworth and they'll get a hold of Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, excellent. All right, well, thank you all for your time today. I appreciate it and hope you have a fantastic rest of the week.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank
Sorry
you.
for the computer glitches here.
All good. We get through it together.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.